worked. Yeah. I mean, that's the only way currently to get the fangs out.
Yeah, and the pearls, I imagine.
Well, the pearls aren't that big. You could put them in your backpack.
Oh, okay.
So,
oh, really?
Yeah. You
a question for you. We
Go ahead.
like, because we didn't bring any mining tools. Are the things that look like barnacles on the thing? Is that where you get the pearls?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So it highlights. You break them, but for me,
Yep.
Remember Hathor in the PTU when you broke the Karenite rock and all the Karenite fell through the ground?
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, so we would break down the pearl thing, and the pearl would just fall through the ground, and or disappear or not exist. But if you want to see what a pearl's supposed to look like, it's on the table in the respawn room.
Okay.
It's like it looks like a marble with bright green, and if you go near it, it's got 30 REM of radiation.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So carrying them, you will get radiation poisoning or whatever from it.
Yeah, yeah.
Any of you guys die to the worm at all, or?
I almost did.
Yeah.
I jumped in the Icti and then he like direct hit me like 3 times. Just focus targeted me. But then I jumped out and it was pretty easy.
But I wasn't in an Icti, and I nearly died to radiation, but not to any like damage stuff.
Yeah, we had someone die to radiation, but we think it's just their suit wasn't working because it was just the second they ran outside. Like, they just died to radiation, basically.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not normal at all. We were in straight heavy, no radiation armor, anything.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and we didn't have any deaths, nothing weird like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. I have the original Valakar, the big fight from CitizenCon. I have
like the 2016 or the 2024?
2024. 2016, fuck that shit. The I have my fight on YouTube, so it won't be stuttery. I have your fight on Twitch, so it won't be stuttery. And we have the store. The store blades are gone. And actually, I have an image for the blades in game.
Yeah, I saw the prices pop up. Someone posted those recently.
So we'll have that up on the screen as well. There we go. I don't have all of them, but most of them are like in the hundreds of K, and then the Hammerhead's like 4 mil.
Yep.
So maybe we have an end to that saga. We'll have to see, but no communication from them on that end. But yeah, I am ready when you are, though. You want to put up the? I'll put up the intro thing, and
yeah, sure.
I'm assuming the YouTube live stream's been on, right?
Yeah, I've got on.
Cool. Who is it this week? Me or you?
Me.
Cool. Also, how long do you think you want to go for this? Because I think it's going to be hard to focus on just this, and because that's all. Like I did week in review. This was one of the least amount of like objects that CIG had.
Yeah.
So, I don't think we're gonna have. I think
we'll still aim for our thing, but I think it just means we'll go to callers earlier, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'm thinking half an hour, and then we go to callers, and that'll probably last for about half an hour, 40 minutes. It'll be a bit shorter.
I don't know. It started.
Hello, welcome. I never hit pause.
I assumed we were going to run it back.
We can run it back.
Run it back. My brain.
Yeah, too awkward. There we go. Okay.
Well, I was going to quickly say was I am going to start recording to try to do audio for this, but it'll be in a couple of days. It won't be immediately.
Cool. Yeah. I think that's totally fine. I know a lot of people are looking for audio things, and if it's a few days later, I think it lets the YouTube thing do its thing as well. So
exactly, yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, let me know.
All right, I'm hitting play. We got 30 seconds. Did you say it was you or me? I forgot.
Me.
Okay, you take it. I'll give you a countdown. 15. 10. 5, 4, 3.
Oh, 7-star citizens, have you checked yourself for worms recently? Welcome back to Answer the Call, your weekly call-in and talk show about Star Citizen with myself and SaltEMike. How you doing, Mike?
Good. I got my first worm yesterday and my only one. So, uh,
Yeah, lovely.
yeah, it was a lot of effort over the last like week to try to
Hmm.
to try to get this thing to work, and it took something very similar to I heard what you took was a dead
Yeah.
server with nobody
Yes.
on it.
Yep.
So server
Yep.
issues continue with Star Citizen, unfortunately.
Yeah. But at
But
least it's PTU server issues.
yes,
Like this is
obviously,
when you
like
want server issues to happen, right? Yeah.
it's not when you want them, but it's okay to have them here, and hopefully they'll nail them down
Yeah. Yeah.
before live. I feel like
Yeah.
because they're calling it the June patch, a lot of
Hmm.
people think this thing's going to come out next week. I don't feel that way after playing at all, but CIG has their
Yeah.
sales that they do, Alien Week,
Hmm.
Worm. Maybe they want to tie those things together. I don't know. But yeah, so how has your experience been now that it's been open? And I guess we'll start with that, right? How much
Yep.
have you done? Was it
Um,
just today, or did you try the other days while it was
just
open?
today, just
Okay.
today for Open PTU. So got to experience the actual big Valakar today. Like you said, with pretty much without any issue. As we went into a dead server, it was like 2 of 400 when we joined. Um, and yeah,
Two or four
minimal
hundred
issues. The only
players?
like 2 of 400. Yep,
Two of 400.
2 of 400. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so literally two
Yeah.
players.
Yeah. Yeah. Two players.
Cool, cool, cool.
And one of them was the person that we joined on. So,
Yeah.
um, so we had pretty much minimal issues. The only like major issue that at least I experienced throughout the entire thing is a huge performance crash during once you place the egg in the
Really?
not even once we placed those. Once we grabbed the egg, and then all the NPCs started spawning to come and fight you.
Oh, I didn't have
Yeah,
that.
my
Okay.
performance absolutely cratered. There was just so many enemies, so many entities spawning like all at once, and yeah. But other than that, it worked perfectly fine. We did the entire once again not event activity. We did the entire activity from front to bottom, going over to the data center and grabbing everything we needed to grab, coming all the way here, and yeah, it all worked.
I'm wiggling my mouse. If anybody wants to know what a Valakar Pearl looks like, it's right there on that desk. Okay.
All right.
We had spoken about it. See how you just passed by it? Just looks like a marble kind of
Mhm.
thing. Well, it looks like a pearl. But
Yep.
yeah, so very similar experience. I was on fairly full servers the whole time, and it was
Mhm.
really a really horrible experience. Really, really horrible. And like falling through the floor, just desyncy like crazy, like problem after problem after
Yep.
problem. Super frustrating. And as we were about to give up, he's still in chat, I think. Bad Cows, he was watching you as well. Do your run today.
Mhm.
Said, I'm on a server with 20 people. And I was
Yep.
like, all right, let's give that a try and see what happens. There he is. Hello. Thank you again. And I mean, it was flawless. It was
Yep.
flawless until, and it's probably very similar to what you dealt with, until we spawned our worm. After we finished our
Yep.
worm, we tried to do it again because my audio was kind of scuffed when doing it, and was like
Mhm.
I missed some of the audio cues for the things, and I also missed like the worm has two stages. I missed the transition to the second stage because I had a ton of
Yep.
um, radiation poisoning, so I was like inside a building. So I was like, let's try and do
Mhm.
it again. 70 players was the max that server got to. We were unable to spawn a worm because of
Okay.
performance issues, desync, timers, like 3 hour timer or whatever on the egg. Like just was
Yep.
never able to do it again. So hopefully this gets a bit better. But I gotta
Mhm.
say, from start to finish, I have one I consider it to be pretty major issue.
Mhm.
The respawning, and I'm kind of curious what, like, that's kind of where we started with you here,
Yep.
was in the respawn area. What do you think about being able to respawn there? That's been kind of a topic of discussion on my channel,
Yeah.
at least.
So I don't know. It's only doing it once. It's like kind of hard to get a good
Yeah,
feel for it.
and you were the only
I've
ones
sort of
there. Like, you didn't get spawn
exactly
camped
right.
here, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which To be fair, this does feel like a PvE activity.
Yes.
Just because of the amount of NPC enemies that there are anyway. Like,
And
it
that's
feels
so
almost
much
like a Siege of
story.
Orison. Exactly, yeah. So it didn't feel too bad from that perspective, but I can see the problems. I can see the problems of like running in there. There's already a group that's doing the activity, and then yeah, you've just like you're gonna end up just spawn camping the beds, right? Is the
Correct.
assumption, I guess. So uh I would probably remove them from here, but then maybe put them at the original complex. Could not be the worst. So then you
Yeah.
still have to take the
Yep.
tram back in, right?
Correct. That's where I
Yeah.
think it should be, is if you want players to respawn because you don't want it to be as punishing, like, oh, I got to go all the way back from
Yeah,
checkmate
yeah.
to Pyro 1, like, make them go through the tram again, and I think I'm okay with
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a middle ground where I think I'm all right with, but even then, you're going to have spawn
Yeah,
campers
there's still
there.
problems present there.
You're
Exactly.
definitely going to have them there as well. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I mean, I think it's right at the beginning of my clips. It's
Mhm.
it's pretty messy. Let's see. I'm not sure if I included it or not, but I literally sat there and we killed people over and over again for like 20 minutes straight. And you can
Yeah.
even turn, because now there's a new thing where you're invincible for 30 seconds, right?
Interesting.
So the spawn camping doesn't happen, but while that
Yeah.
person is sitting on the bed, you can put your head down and go onto their screen and turn it off. You can set their spawn back at their home location, and if they sit there for more than 30 seconds, they're no longer
Yeah.
invincible. So you wait, you set their spawn off at home, and then you kill them. And now that spot is
Insane.
yours. That, like,
Yeah,
but
that's
it
wild.
literally I was sitting there doing it, feeling horrible about doing it the entire time, and going,
Yeah.
you're forcing me to do this. What am I supposed to do? Just lay down
Yeah.
and die? Like, they respawn
No,
with their
exactly.
guns and ammo there. Like, you're literally
Yeah.
forcing me to do it. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I have
Yeah,
to.
no, 100%. I don't know what the solution is in the short term for this.
I mean,
The
remove
solution
them
in the long term.
probably, or put them back at that other location, like
Yeah.
we said. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And the solution in the long term is better medical gameplay. So it's going to be a
yeah,
while till we see that.
yeah. Because that's a feature, I would
Yeah.
assume, not content, right? So that
Yeah,
requires
exactly,
feature
right.
work or whatever. What did you
Yeah.
think of the shotgun? We have
It's
Zach
cool.
here.
I only had the chance to use it here at this location, and because
And
it's
it's
so
hot.
hot, it
Yeah.
overheats far too fast.
Yeah.
Once again, not like far too fast, isn't it? Shouldn't overheat that much. It's just you can't really test it that well here. So it's like you get like 3 shots off before it turns into the slug, and then you get like 2 shots, and then it overheats.
But if you
So it was cool, but I didn't really
shoot,
get to test it that much.
if you shoot less slow, it's good for a while.
Yeah.
And it destroys NPCs like instantly. It's like the new
Mhm.
R97, but better.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I like it, but
Mhm.
it's pretty powerful. It's weird because
Yeah.
they nerfed the R97 too to like make room for this, and now this is just better than the R97. And it's like the R97 was kind of broken and like a noob
Mhm.
weapon, which is why I liked it, because I'm a noob. And now this is like the ultimate noob weapon, but it has that layer on
Yeah.
top of it of if you're in a hot area, it's not going to work that well. But inside the building,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's something that's new that I really like the gun. It's super cool, but yeah, probably a
Yep.
little overpowered. And I mean, again, from start to finish, like the Good Doctor map, so you're like familiar with it.
Mhm.
The I don't think I've played a more immersive experience in the game yet. And it's kind of
Yeah,
like
well, I
what this
almost,
is all about.
almost.
What's your
I
most
think
immersive
Siege of
thing you've
Orison,
done?
Siege of Orison came close when it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Siege of Orison came close when it worked, but Siege of Orison was also a lot more. You felt a lot smaller, right? You felt
Yeah.
like you were more of a part of like a group of like 60 or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like this feels like a story that you do with like 2 or 3 other people.
Yeah. I heard
And
I think
yeah,
I think it might have been Zach pointed out that
Mhm.
it's like we made these for about 4 to 5 people, something like that.
yeah,
And it's like,
which that would
yeah,
track.
it kind of feels that way. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Love this.
Speaking of
So,
story, Yeah, I love that that still
Scanning.
works.
Yeah.
Um, I did see. Oh, finally, I heard the like ending lore part too today, which once
In
again I won't
here, this
spoil
one.
for anyone. No, not in here. It's the voice recording of the
Yeah.
doctor.
Okay. So I think this is the
Yeah.
end one because you hear the doctor upstairs, and then I think you're supposed to come down here, and then you hear the conflict between who Anna Demetrio is, her character, and the doctor.
Oh, I did not hear that.
Yeah, the one that's in
Damn, I'm
this
gonna have to
room
go back
is a
now.
conflict between the two of them. One of
Okay,
them,
I missed that one.
one of them wants to humanely do things, and the other
Yep.
one wants to inhumanely do things.
Yep.
So
All right,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, but you don't have a choice in the
Yeah,
next
yeah, yeah.
step. So
It's just this is what's happening.
yeah, and it's the inhumane way
Hmm.
until you start killing all the worms. At least you're
Look,
humane
they
with this
look
egg, I
evil. I'm gonna
think.
kill them. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think I
But
can't
yeah,
tell.
so yeah, it really is like one of the most emergent experiences, not emergent, most immersive experiences that I've
Yeah,
had in the game of like actually feeling like I have been a part of the story that's been playing, or at least it's like I've been rocking up at these locations just after stuff has happened almost,
yeah.
and then you do the whole egg thing, and then it's just like this big grand thing. I have to talk as well about the music. The score got added in the last few patches. Once again, crushing it. So both new
My
music
audio
at
apparently was only the
yep.
music. Everyone was yelling at me. The music was too loud, and the voice, like I had the game volume super low, and the music was
Yeah,
mega
yep.
loud, but it was still epic. I was having such a great time because the music was so good.
Yeah, it absolutely it slaps. So there's like new music at the data centers, and then there's also like a different combat music as well.
Yep.
Uh, um, for the big Valakar, it's super dope. Works really well. There's like a really sick like guitar lick in the middle of it, which I didn't expect. Yeah, it helps. It helps the atmosphere for sure.
It was so chaotic though that like I was just unable to take it in as much as I would have wanted to. So I do. That's what I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to do it again. Is I wanted to do it again, but to like take it slower.
Mm.
But because PvP is enabled here, it's hard to take it slow. Like this was crazy.
Yeah, right.
Immediately you get hit with a worm before you even get outside. Like it was
Yeah, which is
really
cool.
nicely
And it
designed.
comes out of like it made sense to come out of there too. It's like a
Yeah.
little area that they've excavated, right? Presumably they're doing experiments there.
Yep. And it just pops out, and it
Yep.
just went really well. I love the rain, but it constantly
Hmm.
covering your helmet has been a bit annoying. I wish they'd tone it down a little bit. Like, oh my god, I really wonder how Zach feels. I'm sure he can't speak his mind on this one, but like all the hard work for this worm, and you can't
Hmm.
even fucking see it.
You just gotta press Alt X every now and then, Mike. It's not that hard.
I do, but still, it's like you can't see the thing.
I don't think that's as much of an issue because like I think it adds a lot more to it than it takes away because like it is heavier, right? And it makes it that little bit more dire
Yeah.
and spooky that you're doing this whole event. So I like it.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, we had a very unique experience, which is why for the worm coming up, I chose mine and not yours. I apologize.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you see that there's like a ship in the background there? There's a Polaris just in the background, landed perfectly. So just keep that in mind for a moment while we spawn the worm. Because we got really lucky where the worm spawned. Spoilers.
I feel like I know exactly
epic.
what's about to happen.
Yeah, it's absolutely epic. I also like was spazzing out the whole time because I knew like ads were gonna spawn behind me and stuff. So I didn't really like look at this like charge up thing very long or like really take everything in that was happening. This is like the opposite of Hathor kind of. You know, it's kind of cool. The whole we're gonna shoot out the sounds and whatever, but then all of a sudden there's like copium everywhere and it's just pure chaos. But like that moment was supposed to be pretty epic.
Love that little explosion.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, when you do take the egg, a bunch of adult Velikars spawn along the way as well that you've got to deal with. Hell yeah!
It launches the Polaris in the air when it spawns.
Now that's sick. That's sick.
Literally launched the Polaris in the air, and then we have an Ichty firing at it. It was such a good time. So
See, this is where we say, "Hey, Zach, is it too late to just spawn an empty Polaris there for every single time that someone does this mission?"
yeah, it would be fantastic. There should always be a ship
Yep.
just sitting there for it to just
Yep.
launch into midair. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was getting yelled at for not shooting at the shiny bits, but I looked at the screen. There's like a screen in one of the like the doctor locations or something like that where they were doing experiments, and it shows the weak points, and the weak points are the shiny bits, but there's also a weak point on each one of the like one of these things too.
Yeah.
In the image.
I just
So
kept
I shot
shooting
at
the mouth,
face.
and that's
Me
yeah. I just
too.
kept shooting at the mouth, and that's when I got hit markers, and it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about this too. Zach saying the shiny bits are meant to have a bunch of goo flying out, so when you shoot at them, on your side, you should see, like,
Yeah.
hey, you're injuring it, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, don't walk in the puddle. Meanwhile, I just walked right in the puddle. But yeah, so this, I mean, it was just super fun. But I'm using the shotgun out there
Yeah.
because that's all I had. I did not come well prepared for the fight.
Well, luckily the location itself is very well prepared. So there's Animus missile launchers, there's railguns, tons of F-55s and FS9s if you just
ammo
want to
crates
shoot them,
everywhere.
Exactly, yeah. So you will not be short on ammo. Not to mention, like, you just killed, 50 of the guys in the radiation suits. So all of that stuff is around too. So you won't be short on ammo, but like we did have to do like a couple of runs in and out just to get it. And we did have a problem of like running back in to get ammo, and then we get killed by everyone who like just respawned.
Yep. I want to try and get to. Did you see the transition from the two phases?
I didn't notice it, but I noticed it was doing different attacks.
Okay, let's see if I can speed us up here to see it.
Because it did, it was so it does that shot of like the single goo things, and then at one point it did like a triple shot.
Here we go.
Felt very MMO like.
It gets shocked by the lightning.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
Out.
I don't think that happened in ours.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I think we got super lucky. Like, what they were saying is, like some of the devs were watching, and they said that we got the closest to what they would see on their end. Because again, like we were pretty lucky. I think you probably did too, but in the middle of the fight, you just don't notice the lightning. I only noticed it after watching it later and like watching it like wiggle and stuff like that. So, and then that's like the second phase, and then it does a different set of attacks or whatever. And then I was ready to die from
from radiation.
From radiation, yeah. So that was like super dangerous for me and was not fun. But yeah.
That is very cool. I did not know that this game could have scripted like that's a scripted animation essentially, right?
I guess.
And I don't think we've had something like that before in this.
No, I mean I don't think we've had
not
like
that I can think of
stages or like this is like the first MMO boss. So apparently that's when it reaches 20% HP.
Yeah, there you go.
And I didn't have the sound on. So in the YouTube video, I used Franpire from Shadow Moses' sound. Like I was going back and forth between her video and mine, and I just used her sound because mine was just muted, basically. So you were actually able to hear the sound of the boss, which was nice.
Yeah.
So thank goodness that she was there as well.
Very cool.
But yeah.
How long did it take you guys to take it down?
The whole video was 38 minutes, and I made one tiny cut while I was waiting inside the thing. I think maybe 20 minutes max, 15 minutes. No less. 10 minutes for the actual worm.
Yeah, we killed it in like 5, which felt very short.
Yeah,
but it may have been bugs or something.
Could be, and the end, Fran is the reason it died. I think was here we go. I think we're coming right up to it.
Maybe it just took a bunch of damage from the Polaris.
There's Gatling guns there that you could shoot it at. I didn't realize they were there, but she knew. So that's what kind of finished it, and it was like flailing before it died, which is cool. So I don't know how many people saw the death animations yet, because I didn't, because I was looking the other way, which is why Frank's clip is up there for that.
Yeah. I was in a similar situation. I think I was looking around for ammo, and I just hear someone go, "Wait, I think I might have killed it. I think I might have killed it, guys."
Yeah,
it's like doing some weird. Yeah, it's just lying on the ground now. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's what's like. I think it like. See, I'm shooting it, and I think it's dead because it's so dark.
Yeah.
It's so dark that it's tough to see. But then the last thing would be the mining part. There it is.
Yeah.
So That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, sweet.
Yep. So pretty simple, but again, no pearl, like as you can see there.
Yeah.
But yeah, very cool fight.
And the teeth as well, which you can track
teeth.
off.
There's
Yep.
tons of copian for, so like all these turn-ins. Oh, thoughts on this? A lot of people are asking me about this. I think they're pretty upset about it. I don't know who makes these decisions, but I think whoever makes them kind of sucks. And it just pisses me off personally. Scrip is out of Wicklow. You don't get favors through Scrip anymore.
Yes, someone mentioned this.
How do you feel about that?
Today during
it's
stream.
All this now. Favors done through this again. It's like taking Wicklow and being like I got made fun of or yelled at for calling these things events because they're sandbox activities. But when they make choices like that, and it basically goes, oh yeah, by the way, Hathor, no need for Karenite really anymore unless you're going for a certain couple of things.
Yeah.
No need for Scrip anymore. It's an event if you do it this way.
Yeah, so what are we using Scrip for, I guess?
Nothing.
Yeah. So they're still presumably going to be in the game because they just got introduced.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're thinking long term, that's fine. Everyone who was asking you that question is thinking short term. So does it bother you at all in the short term? It does not bother me too much, but
a little bit, I guess. Because
what bothers you?
Well, first off, it's just been removed in PTU, I assume, right? It hasn't happened in live randomly.
Correct. And
cool.
And we're still in PTU. There's plenty of opportunities for them to add things. Hear that feedback and go, oh shit, they're probably right. Maybe we should put something in there for Scrip.
What I would hope they're doing is kind of what we've been saying the last few weeks, is that Scrip will be used to turn into to not Wicklow, right?
Yeah, to the Scrip guy, to the military guild guy, right? Or the mercenary guild guy. Yeah. And the council
so that would be
guild.
my hope. That would be my hope that they use those for, especially because they just came out with them. I would hate them to just bin them and get off with them because they work. I think they're fine.
Exactly. That's why I'm not bothered by it too much. It's it's kind of shitty that they're doing these things in event style, even though they're not event style stuff. But in reality, it doesn't really matter until 1.0 anyway, right? So who cares? And who cares? So so it's fine in that sense. But yeah, so I'm fine with it. But I hope this means, I'm going to take not the high road, but I'm going to take the copium side of it, I guess, and go, I hope them taking it out means they're preparing for the next patch where, there's some mercenary guild guy who hangs out in ArcCorp and you just turn it in there. They don't even need to make a Wicklow-like location, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The flavor of the month. Yeah, I don't like the flavor of the month stuff. I really don't. I want to see them go towards what a 1.0 would look like, where all of these activities are things that players are doing day by day, right?
I tell you, I'll use that because that is reasonable logic. The reason why it might be okay. So I'll use Sea of Thieves because it's what I know does something similar.
Okay.
So they'll come up with a new location event.
Sure.
And they'll go really, really hard on it for a couple of months. So the one that I'm thinking of right now, I think it's Captain Firebeard, whatever his name is. They went really, really hard. They did this 6-story arc as well over that period of 4 months or 6 months. But then afterwards, it just became a world event. It just became a thing you go and do on your daily playthroughs, just whenever you want to do it, right? This feels a bit more like that because now it's
it does.
They went really, really heavy on Hathor. And now Hathor just is a bit of content that you just do during your week, is the idea, right?
But why? Is there
Well,
reason?
That's the thing.
That's the part that they're breaking up a little bit, but it's kind of understandable because they don't have a lot. So if they need to entice you to do things, Wicklow seems to be the way that they think is the best. And I think that they're leaning that way because it is not you have to buy the ship in the store, it's everything is earned in game through them. So it is a positive thing. It is a good thing. I just hated that it was meant to be there forever. And then as immediately, the other thing about Hathor is it never worked. It never worked consistently. right? So like
Yeah.
people never went there consistently and had a good experience. Contested
Yeah.
zones never worked consistently and people had a good experience. And we just keep moving on. And that's my other concern, right? With these kind of
Yeah.
things is this does not work consistently. This is going to have the same damn problems. And we've got server meshing. They've thrown in way too much shit again, and now we're dealing with this again. It's very frustrating.
It's also extra frustrating because these things are cool.
Yeah.
Like, it is really genuinely decent content that they've been making over the course of the last, well, really just this year, right? The last 6 months has been CZ's, Hathor, this, as well as some of their other world events. And yeah, that does make me a little concerned. I would hope that, like, they've clearly learnt some lessons with this location versus others. There's still a lot of problems, like we were talking about with the med beds and stuff. But it's not just the content lessons that need to be made. It's also like the bug lessons. Like, we're not going to go back to those other locations. I did say to my chat today, I was like, look, I do really like this thing, but right now I'm incentivized to hope that Hathor works next patch because it's going to be a little less busy and can do Hathor and then come and do this the next patch and so on.
Yep.
But if Hathor is continuing to not be working consistently, then like, what am I doing at all?
This is going to be a dumpster fire the way it's designed.
Yeah.
Ships like littered at every, like they got to do some serious cleanup of ships. Ships littered everywhere, bodies littered everywhere. They really have to look at their cleanup. And then again, our server only had 70 people on it, and we still ran into like heavy desync, weird problems. So internally somewhere, server side, network, something weird's going on because we were on a 30 FPS server and it was cracked. And then immediately after we did the worm, it was a 10 FPS server. And like not that many more people joined. So what's going on, right? That should not be a thing. So yeah, especially because we're on a server of 10 servers and this one's at 10. So yeah, something weird's going on with the event, I would say. But yeah, we'll have to see. Outside of that, have you seen that the flight blades are out of the store?
Yes, they're out of the store and they're in PTU as well, for purchase from Wicklow.
Correct.
Right? Or is it from? Yeah.
No. So it looks like
Not Wicklow.
No, shop. This is the image I have.
Oh, it's a regular shop. Right.
Yep. Yeah. So like hundreds of thousands for the Gladius, and then up to the Hammerhead with 3.9. I am hoping that this is the end of this saga.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
Yeah.
I really don't, and we'll have to see. But I'm hoping this is the end of the saga where they hurt us. Whatever people bought them, and that'll be, you know, when the game launches, a very small amount of, you know, turrets for the like missile turrets for the X-wing ship or whatever it's called, and stuff like that, right? Along with the blades. So hopefully they heard us and they said, you know what, maybe we won't do this and we'll just put it in game. Obviously, they're trying to get the goodwill by putting it in game first, but largely, we saw most people were totally fine with in game and on the store at the same time. So it's not on the store now. I imagine they'll come back at like standalone, not in a package, and still be sold on the store. But I'm hoping they don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we'll hear anything about it until it happens or doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be more communication about it, honestly.
Nope. And I think there probably won't be any communication. We'll rage, and then there will. No matter what they do next is probably where it'll stand. But again, pretty short week. So that's all I have. I mean, the event was fantastic when it works, but it doesn't work. So there's that. It's going to be a PvP disaster on live, and people are all going to complain about it, and probably rightfully so.
But once again, similar to Hathor, probably only for the first patch, and then afterwards, exactly, yeah,
you'll get your worm.
Like you know, people are going to rush to these. There's, I think, 6 of these part 2 locations, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a few on Pyro 1 that you can go to. So it is split a little bit.
And then 10 Pyro 4 locations.
Yeah. So 10 preliminary, 6 secondary. So it is split a little bit, but it's still not enough to not like that's gonna happen.
Yep.
You're gonna have that problem. Hathor had 12. Well, I guess 4 technically, 4 locations, and that was a big problem, and they were very far from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the one advantage I would hope is that you're not gonna have to worry as much about ships coming and fighting you when you're at these locations. You just have to worry about FPS, and you can, as a group, figure out ways to avoid that relatively easily, I think.
Yeah, it should be less problematic, especially at the last location. I think it's very weirdly designed with the tram. We had spoken about that plenty. You're just going to get killed on the tram as soon as you get out, which is tough. But outside of that,
I would still love it if you just had to drive a car. Just make me drive a car that distance instead, and it's so much better.
Yeah, it's an odd one. I don't know how I feel about. I think I would be frustrated with driving a car, possibly, but maybe if the first location you can spawn the car and just constantly give it a try and keep coming back, you respawn there. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it still is odd that an Atlas works but a vehicle doesn't.
Yeah,
if I get it, if you don't want ships there, but yeah, so I don't know, we'll see. And I think we saw the whole patch.
Pretty much, yeah. There'll be maybe some more balance changes because they tend to sort of push those anyway. But the fact that we're already open wave PTU, I mean, you mentioned that people are wondering if it'll come out this week. I think there is a world that it will, but I mean, the fact that Zach was in here saying that the servers are on fire and acknowledging that means that it is probably at least a couple. Yeah, there is probably at least a couple of patches before they give the go ahead for it.
Let's see.
Because right now I imagine it'd be like 20 minutes of successful Valakar right at the start of the patch, and that's it.
Yeah. Did you see? You probably missed this. Before we go, new scanning UI. Did you see it?
I didn't see the new scanning UI. No.
It's because it's not in. This is really funny, actually. Tuesday, this is what the scanning UI looked like. And it did not function in the way that it's described in like the Wednesday or Thursday patch notes of like, you only need to be 10% like scan level to be able to get the name. And then you got to be closer to get all the stuff. Hopefully this doesn't chug. But you'll be able to hopefully see me raise the scan angle here to get a look at the UI a little bit better. There you go. So I raised the scan angle over here.
I do like the little scanning check mark.
Yeah, like it lets you know you scan that chip. So if it highlights, it'll let you know if that chip has been scanned or not. And then there's the different scan angles. So it's way easier to read from what we had. What's funny about this is on Wednesday, they put these in the notes saying updated scanning UI. The Wednesday patch did not have the updated scanning UI anymore. The Thursday patch did not have the updated scanning UI anymore. The Friday patch did not have the updated scanning UI anymore. But the patch does.
They were in on Tuesday. Then they said they were in on all the patches that they weren't.
Correct. Classic CIG. And then, but the scan functionality does work. So the functionality under the hood has changed. You're able to see the names from much farther away. So if you want to do that scanning gameplay, you can. So that's one thing to point out as well that I think we almost forgot about. So yeah.
Another thing that some people may have missed is the good old sneak peek. So Alien Week coming up. In like 2 weeks, a week, something like that. Soon. And the sneak peek was a Prowler.
I didn't
one of
catch
the
that
coolest but most useless ships in Star Citizen.
I'm trying to bring it up. Hold on. There it is. It's coming. There it is. I'd never put 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, is this a shield of some kind?
Yeah, no, it's just like the underside of the Prowler.
Yeah. So it's just a skin that they're selling here. It's orange.
It could be. Have they ever just done skins during sneak peeks?
I don't know.
I
Do you
feel like
think
they
this is a
haven't, right?
Prowler variant?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the Valkyrie Mark II. It's the they're making drop ships actually playable. Um,
Like I
yeah,
hate
yeah,
it,
no idea
but
what it
I
would be. But
appreciate it at the same time if that's what it is. Because it's like, all right, let's not
yeah,
waste time and make more new ships. Let's just make new versions of the old ones. So
mm,
people, yeah, but so it's like less dev time wasted, and then they can go back to the backlog
yeah,
more, which is what they should be doing. But they have their targets that they're trying to hit, I guess. So I can't get like super mad about this, but it's also like if you showed this stuff to people on the outside, they would be like, "What the fuck?" Right?
yeah.
So there's also
So yeah,
that.
expect something Asperia related, whether it is just a skin,
Mm.
or an actual different version of the ship. Yeah, in the next 2 weeks.
Yep. Yep. Is that when it is? It's 2 weeks from now, or we don't know when it
It's
is, and it
around.
just kind of randomly pops up.
It's always a couple of weeks after Invictus.
Okay. So we'll find out tomorrow if it's next week because this week
Probably,
in
yeah.
Star Citizen, whatever. Okay.
June 12th is first contact day, and it's always around that.
Fair enough.
So, it'll be basically next week after.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope that's not when they do the patch because I hope it's June 30th.
Well, that's what I was gonna
I
say.
hope the
So
June patch
yeah, so
is
it
at
is
the end of the month.
it is a June patch. Which also, can you get up the if you do you have the loading screen for the PTU?
I
Yeah.
do.
Um. So yeah, it is the June patch, and it once again the loading screen does say like June, like this is the thing for June, as they've been doing with all the last few patches. I think there is an advantage that this likely doesn't have a deadline except for end of June, because also during Alien Week, there's no in-game event during Alien Week, at least in terms, no in-game like content added, except for sometimes we've had like alien head hunts and stuff like that. Like the really like loot-based sort of events that are they're not very heavy, is what I'm trying to say. Um, so we might be okay, but they are obviously still targeting June.
I can't get past G2A.
G2A.
You know G2A, the like key, like you buy game keys from this website. This is literally the logo, but backwards. They literally just straight up copied the logo, but it's
I
backwards.
didn't see that, but yeah.
Yeah, it was the first thing I saw when it was like that because I was looking at it. If you go to the other side of that, it's literally G2A. It's super
G2A.
weird. Yeah.
But yeah, so as always, a bunch of lore information about stuff ongoing that we've been part of is on here.
This one
especially,
is so goofy. It's so goofy, but
yeah. I saw someone talking about that bit. So the bit in the section at the bottom right essentially talks about how 10% of the population have a gene that like isn't affected by the regen crisis, right?
What percentage
and then everyone's
of the world
saying,
is NPCs and what percentage of the world
everyone
are
keeps
players?
saying that, and it's actually like starting to piss me off. Like,
yeah.
I don't care about 10% players, 10%, 90% NPCs. I do think they are talking about players here as a lore reason of why we aren't affected. But I just hate people connecting it to that old quote that they had about how the population
even spawn
of
20
the
worms on one planet without the servers dying. Like, please, dude, 90% NPCs, get out of here. Dumbasses.
But yeah, they talk about the Polaris theft. They do go like into pretty deep lore about like the specific person who stole it and everything that happened to them. So I'm really enjoying. I have been really enjoying these splash screens, and I hope they continue it. But I am starting to now already get bored of the fact that it's always news articles. Give me something else. Give me like a bit of graffiti on the wall, or give me like a data pad instead or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting there a little bit too with the, at the event, they were way better storytellers for that. So I think they'll get there slowly. They've heard us, and it's just a matter of doing it, I think, at this point. But yeah, so that's the patch. I guess that's the day. You want to go to some callers? We have a few.
Before we go to callers, the last thing I want to talk about, System 7 finished today for the year, once again. And Team Punch Nomies with over 140 points Just absolutely crushing it.
Is that
So
good?
that's you guys heard us talk about Herbie and Gerbo and all them. Yes, the second highest that anyone has gotten points wise in the System 7, I think was 103. So they
So
had
crushed.
out of the 7 races, they podiumed 6 of them
Okay.
and they won 4 of them. So just insane team.
It's because I wasn't there.
Oh, true.
If I was there,
Yeah.
they would have won them all.
Mike just crashing into the competition all the time.
I would have ruined it for everyone else somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, they
those guys
absolutely
are
smashed it,
legends in the racing community.
Yep.
So well deserved. Congrats, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Time for callers.
Let's do it.
One of the earliest we've went to callers. Space Monkey is going to take advantage of this. We cannot let him. Hello, Space Monkey.
You have
welcome,
2 minutes.
Yeah. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hey.
Good.
I just heard the mic saying, "There's no callers today," and I said, "Okay, let's join. Let's."
Yep.
Well, the thing is, it's one of the coolest things that's happened in the last few months, but we mostly talked about it last week for like the majority of it. And then there was just one cool thing that's hard to talk about.
Most people haven't experienced it yet, unfortunately. But I think every YouTuber like fought through it and got there to make their video, essentially, right? So
yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's all. That's also the start or the infos I got it from, because I've not played it so far. I just like, okay, let's keep it down for this time and maybe experience it in the PU for the first time and not do the PTU. But I have some questions regarding that, and also some like meta questions. How do you feel about some stuff?
Sure.
So
shoot.
in your video, you saw we saw the Polaris in it. So I thought you can't fly there with ships.
Okay.
You're not
because they
supposed to be
get
able to.
struck.
So here's
But
how
you
it
still
works.
can.
Somebody goes to the location that's in your party, and they stand at a spot, and then that person flies above the clouds in the Polaris, and then they strafe down until they hit the storm. Their ship turns off, and they go down below.
Ah, okay. And then you can still turn it on if you're on the ground, or what?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just off, but it's there, and you can respawn in it.
Ah, okay.
I think that's
cheeky.
why they do it.
I'm glad to know you can't turn it back on. That's good.
Yeah,
think you
me
can.
too. Me too.
We didn't try, but again, I believe as so long as the ship doesn't explode, I think that they're respawning in it. That's why it was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's the first time we have like the environmental dangers I talked about for I don't know how many months. And it's cool to see it, and it looks great, and it also the lightning and the storm and the sound looks pretty neat. So
for sure.
It's so atmospheric. I love that they've been able to get all of that together for this.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have any of the only thing that we had was clouds. But now we've got the rain, the lightning, all of the stuff that comes with it. It's great.
The sun shafts, like there's not much more to add. Like fire pretty much, and we got
there's a little meme developed in my little community when something goes down and there's some bugs come up and you're annoyed about the game. Somebody used to say, or occasionally says, but the clouds look really good.
Yeah.
So it's like, coping. Like,
damn right.
Yeah. The rain looks good.
Yeah, the rain looks super, super good. I will say, my wife like walked in as we had just killed the Valakar. Yeah. I'm like, look, we killed the giant worm, and she's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Man, the rain looks really good.
Yeah.
So like it's clearly a thing.
I mean, it's what really separates this game from other games is just like I think the word you used, atmospheric, this is the like a really nice way to describe the game. It's just man, you're just like, wow, I don't feel like this or have felt this in any other game, really. At least maybe not like multiplayer game. There's definitely some single player games that give you that vibe, but yeah.
So when you kill the apex stuff, the apex, and then you harvest, or what can you harvest? The pearls and the fangs.
Yes.
How do you?
Yes.
Yeah. How do you get the stuff out of there?
So the fangs are huge. The only way currently is to put them on the tram to get them out.
Yeah. It looks like. I mean,
It's
they
pretty scuffed.
probably lack. Yeah. They probably lack like. I mean, I would have expected like elevator, and you just put it in and pull it out on the other side of the
Yeah, I
store.
think they want to do something
But
like that,
yeah.
but not
I
yet.
wonder. My one problem with that is not a problem I have. It's a problem I'll have from people complaining. Is I can hear already from the void people shouting about how unimmersive that is. That you've put them down here and they've arrived at a different location.
Don't
But
care.
I don't think that should be a problem. You should
Don't
just be able
care.
to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
let's
200.
simplify some things, please.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's a 220 degrees planet, and then there are animals on it, and not dying. So
Well,
if
they're
they
made of
talk about-
radiation. So
come on,
Yeah.
come on, a little bit biology. No, that's just kidding. That's
why
just
do you think
kidding.
it's 300? The Copians are warming up the atmosphere. guys.
Yeah. They breathe
Also,
too heavy.
You can float up in the Atlas Geo up on top of the worm, and there's one more of these up there at least as well.
I was wondering if that was
okay.
the case.
Yeah,
It
here,
almost
I'll
felt like you should be able to walk up the corpse of
You
the
can't
Valakar at one
walk,
point.
unfortunately.
But yeah, it's got like weird sections.
But
on
there
it.
you go. Right there is like
Yeah,
a
it looks like you
stair.
should be able to walk up
Yeah,
it.
but
Yeah.
you need the
Yeah,
Atlas to walk it, basically.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's about the Icties? You have two variants, and I just saw on the Vicular Favors that the second variant is much more resource heavy than the first one. What is the difference?
Do not know.
You know that?
Do
Okay.
not know. All
Yeah,
I know is I used
only
it.
know about the Icties from the location.
Yeah, the ones at the location had like 70 rounds. They fired. It was a straight up normal Atlas. Doof, 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 doof.
Mhm.
Didn't fly
Mhm.
and just did its thing. So I don't know because I didn't do any of the turn-ins. I know like some people that I went with were doing turn-ins. So Care Bear in Twitch chat is saying one's a Geo Icti and one's a
Yeah, I know.
standard Icti. What makes a Geo Icti? Is it one gun, one mining laser?
I was going to say,
Yeah,
is it the Graveler?
I
Like, does
think
it have the jetpack?
Oh, does
no,
it have
it-
guns plus a jetpack? Probably. Just the
Yeah,
Geo
there
one
you go.
flies.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
because
Gotcha.
I only saw the variant with the backpack, and
Yeah. So the
I
jetpack
was
is going to
wondering
be
if-
the more valuable one there, of course, because it
Yeah.
literally flies.
Okay.
Okay, I get it.
That makes sense.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Do you feel the kill, or let's say time to kill the Apex was reasonable? Was it good? Does it feel good, or was it too simple in some ways? I mean, it's the
think-
first stuff they did.
Some of the attacks didn't seem to do enough damage to us. When we got hit by them. Outside of that, I think the time to kill was fine for the small group that we had. And when you hear them say that we made this for a group of 4 to 5, that's fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah. It took us about 5 minutes to kill it today, but like it might have just been because we had one person on a railgun the whole time, just
Yeah,
going
it
right
probably
into the mouth.
was.
So it's probably fine. The difficulty of it is weird. When I was like up in front of it with the Icti, just trying to shoot it in the face and then getting immediately targeted, that felt hard because I was just getting shot the whole time.
Yeah.
But if you like sit far back on the turrets, I don't think you're ever getting targeted. You're just so far away from it.
Correct.
So it may not shoot far enough. Could be a problem.
I would love if they took those out because it's just too easy.
Yeah.
Like it just that was really goofy. Those things have like never-ending ammo too, and the whole thing is like, oh, you might run out of ammo. But I feel like time to kill was okay. The thing that I would be a little bit worried about is like this is Star Citizen's first like world boss, and the mechanics are there, but they don't seem to like mean anything. Like I'm not countering it. We didn't have to like, flip a switch or make sure we go kill the adult Valakar because it will weaken the, like there was no very clear. There may be mechanics there that we didn't quite understand, but we did it without paying attention to anything. We just shot at the thing.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like
there's not a lot of complexity to the encounter itself.
Yeah. Especially if you let me respawn at the damn location. Kill me.
Yeah.
Kill me so I learn that I made a mistake and then like learn from that mistake and go, oh, when he does this, or I think it's a she, when she does this, we got to do that, right? Because the storyline is like, this is the mother of those eggs kind of thing. I believe.
With that being said, I did like that wherever it shoots does become a little irradiated zone.
Yes.
That is dangerous to go into. That's quite cool.
Blue. Yeah, stay out of the green goo.
Yeah.
That's a good
Don't stand in the
mechanic,
fire.
obviously, right? Don't stand in the fire.
Yeah.
Those are good ones. I stood in the fire because I was looking up too much. But yeah, I wanted to see like a, hey, don't make this silly mistake or you'll die, and then kind of like, oh, okay, so we can't do that because this is what it does. You know, in this phase it does this. It kind of just stood there, looked cool, and let us kill it, right?
Yeah.
So
I'd love to see it move, right? Like it does like it does like the waving around and stuff, but there does seem to be it's essentially set up like an arena. You can sort of see it's got all the lights shining up. It's supposed to be pointing at it. I would love to see it move around a little bit more. And then you have to mess around with it that way. But once again, this is their like first iteration of this. So a lot of these notes are maybe just better for like, all right, cool. What's the next thing that you do after you go to these and you get these ones? When's the next time we fight in Apex?
Yeah. Also, just to hop on real quick, this was half the size of the worm that we saw at CitizenCon.
Yeah. Yeah, 150 meters instead of the 300.
So I heard some people complain about it. I feel like the people who complained about it didn't play and didn't see the worm. It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zach says it's not. It's the same size. Okay. Yeah. There you go. I have Zach, no issues with the size. It was massive, and if it was double the size, it wouldn't make any difference because it was just huge. Is the size at that point, right? So I was totally fine with it. But I heard some people complaining about that for whatever reason, and apparently they were just dumb and wrong anyway. Zach just said in chat, I'm sick of people calling my worm small. It's upsetting me. I understand, Zach. I know exactly how you feel, okay? I know exactly how you feel. But it's the way it is, man.
I will say that it may feel smaller, mostly just because you're not in a ship, right?
Yeah.
Like we saw all these massive ships fighting it at different heights, whereas when we actually fight it, we're on the ground. And when you do the event, it feels massive. It feels huge. It feels like a problem, especially as when you're running to put the egg away, all the adults are spawning, and they're quite large in their own way, right? They're something like 15, 20 meters.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a fun fight. I would love to see a little bit more to it outside of that. For a first go at this, my only negative is I couldn't fucking see the thing. Like I just wanted more light. Outside of that, like I really don't have too many notes. Don't want to spawn there. Take out the turrets because it's just like way too easy. You make the best point of like you're probably not even getting targeted from that distance. The NPCs might be spawning on you, but I don't even think so at that stage.
There is some concern.
So I don't know, but yeah, a little less rain on your screen. But those are all like super minor things. Like about the beginning to end of this, I think it's the best event they've done so far. Like just idea wise, execution. We can't judge that until it's on live, and it most likely will be poor because an alpha and servers and. I mean, who expects this to work perfectly? Not me.
I was also hoping for a bit, like you said, more complex mechanics, like stuff when it moves around, then the ground under you begins to shake and you have to move, otherwise you will get killed because it comes up like a sandworm from Dune or something like this.
I think they might be there, but I think they wanted to see I think they wanted to see us get to the phases. Like, again, I got hit with a bomb of acid spit. Nothing happened. So it was like, is it bugged or what? So, yeah.
Well, let's see. I mean, for their first implementation so far, it looks pretty decent.
It's just kind of funny that like taking the egg felt more dangerous than fighting the Valakar.
Yeah. Actually,
So there's some odd balance there, I guess.
Yeah.
Last question regarding the med beds. because
Yep.
when I think about this, I mean, the current mechanic will change definitely. But the thing is, how are they? I mean, or a question to you: how would you balance the medbed stuff with Death of a Spaceman, which is still odd, in my opinion, in mind, where it's like, okay, you want to survive, but on the other hand, it's like, okay, when you have like PvP activities and PvE activities where you will die. It's like it contradicts itself. It's like you want to.
Yeah, this is why I said like in the small term, there's like weird solutions that might not help very much. Kind of like we said, like maybe you just move the medbeds to the other location, or you just don't have them there at all, and you just kind of suffer.
Well, you kind of can have
Um,
them there. There's what's crazy is if you're facing the Valakar where it spawned from the building, if you look left, there's another building out there. There's a med bed
Yeah.
there. You can't respawn. It literally says you cannot set your spawn here.
mm,
You could do that.
yeah,
So like, hey, I need to get my radiation poisoning off me. Go to the med bed. Hey, I got 30 injuries. Go to the med bed. Right?
yeah. Like
Well,
I am okay with that.
Yeah.
Right, which is also what that's what the med beds at Siege of Orison were. They were the gym med beds that were just tier 3s, heal your tier 3s, and then you or you know stuff yourself with as much medicine as possible
Yep.
to deal with your tier 1s and tier 2s. So I would be okay with that. But if you're going to if you're talking specifically respawning, my thing is just medical just needs to be reworked. That's kind of the only way that's going to work in the long term to make it more interesting. And for that, my thing is I think it needs to be you have down states that are a little bit more interesting. Injuries are a little bit more harder to come by, but maybe you can also counteract that by making the actual healing gameplay a little bit more complex. Like that, it just is an issue in general.
Yeah. And we're not going to get those features this year. They're just going to keep pushing out this shit, and not that it's shit, it was good, but they're going to keep putting out this stuff, and then it's going to always be undermined by the lack of feature work. So it's this challenge they're always going to have. Is I feel like we always are like, that was cool, but with everything they do right now, because they're not making the game, they're hovering at the moment while fixing the game, and they're doing some fantastically cool stuff while hovering. Yeah, but that's what they're doing, right? So
I heard one interesting information. It was, I think, out of an interview done at the Chinese Bar Citizen, where they asked, like, I think it was Aaron Roberts, where he said, medbeds need resources to work. Maybe you need to put some stuff in to get your respawn properly, or just to fully get your respawn, which would be interesting, because then you split up, like taking the Valakar fight, split up the scenario into strategic points, because if you are in a group and you want to respawn there, you need to get resources in the bed and defend the bed. Otherwise, the other people take it over. So that could be an interesting thing. But well, let's see.
I would hate to have to be the guy to stand in the med bedroom while everyone fought the worm, but
everyone else is having fun.
But yeah, we'll see. All right, Space, we'll let you go there, but appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks
See you
for
next time.
all the questions.
Right. Talk to you soon.
Catch you, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, we'll bring in Frosty next. Welcome, Frosty.
Hello.
Hello, Frosty.
All good, thanks. So with this patch, I haven't really touched it as much because of work and all that stuff. So, but I have been watching a few streams and Mike's video as well. I mean, it's good, I guess. It's it is a good activity in the first like major, the Apex, Valakar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up, Rick. So I'm reading chat as well. And
don't read chat. Never read
but
chat.
yeah. It's good. The only gripe that I have, obviously, with the Valakar is just, it being not static, but he just doesn't move. Like Croncy said, he should move, and he should keep players on their toes, especially, with its size and, like with its spitting and all that stuff. I think it was kind of down to like server stuff, but from what I gather from what Zach said in the Discord last night, is mostly due to the performance and all that stuff, especially when Berks did it as well.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't seem like it's a decision for it not to move, especially because when they showed it at CitizenCon, it did. It went back underground and then re-emerged at a different spot, right? So it's obviously in their head. It's just not working for
I
this
don't know if I have it, but Burks had like a different experience than we did, where it it kind of went down and then came back up, kind of thing. Apparently, when he played it, so it might be a part of the mechanic, and we just haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it. Yeah,
I think when he was doing it, he kind of, I don't know, he got baited. I think it like crashed down on the ground, but then he came back up. Yeah. But to be honest, looking at from the video from CitizenCon, what it is now, I say it is good, but it's kind of underwhelming as well when you're fighting it with FPS weapons. It's kind of
Yeah.
I expected more from it.
Ships and vehicles and
it's kind of have it actually gave vehicles a purpose in the game, but now obviously I understand why with the storm and you're not allowed ships on there and distortion and stuff like that, but let's just hope that it's not the same when it comes to it being put into the wild and like a Monarchs and stuff like that.
This is the irradiated version. We have not seen what the normal version might be, right?
That's exactly what I was going to say. This is the initial implementation, and it's a variant of the regular. So hopefully they do still do the you use a ground vehicle to summon it in, whatever way you do it, and then you are shooting with it. I would say I don't find it disappointing that we're using FPS weapons to fight it, because I think it's quite fun using the FPS weapons on it. But ground vehicles are barely a step above FPS weapons in most situations. Sure. Like the guns on the MT are one size larger than a railgun, basically. So it's kind of close enough anyway that it would probably still be entertaining. Also, there's a question of
Burks had happened.
Oh, yes, that's like a slam down.
Yeah, except it's not yet. It lunges forward at you.
Oh,
yeah, that's what you.
Up? Okay.
Yeah, that's what you had, Mike. But I think it just went down.
Yeah, I had it lunge at me in mine, but I don't remember it just going like that and then coming back up. I'll try to bring mine up and see if I can find the lunge.
Yeah. There is also the irradiated one could be weaker. That there is precedent in other IPs of hey, here is this thing that's fraught with radiation. So therefore it's sick. It's not particularly strong. So the regular one could be.
Yeah, I guess it could be it's got less health, but it's more, it gives out more damage and stuff like that.
Exactly, yeah. It's spitting radiation, but you can't imagine that it's particularly healthy because it's spitting radiation.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say with the Valkyrie with its spit, I don't think it has any splash damage either. Because the only way it can actually.
I definitely experienced some splash damage today.
Did you? Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, so I had it shoot at me a couple of times. A couple of times it hit me directly,
noticeable,
straight in the face. And then there was maybe 2 times it hit maybe 5 to 10 meters in front of me, and I still received damage.
Okay, because the only time I watched that was
you are in Australia.
Okay, I would. True. I would have to go back through my footage though, because I obviously only did it once, and I wasn't paying a lot of attention to my health as there was this giant worm in front of me.
Trying to see, it does this crazy slam attack where it just launched at me, but I don't know when it does that.
It lunges it.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to do it, but I don't know which part of the fight it happens. But yeah, it's cool, but that lunge again, it didn't even lunge at anybody really. It lunged in between me and everyone else. Here it comes.
Yeah,
I'm way to the left of everybody, and I was shit, it's down, I could shoot it in the face. And then it lunged, but it didn't go after anyone.
That was not what I was expecting. I thought it was just the first bit, and I'm like, it's not going to hit anything going that slow.
I imagine it would go for an ICTY or something like that, but it just didn't go after anybody in particular, so it was kind of underwhelming in that sense. But that would not have been an underwhelming experience. That would have been what we were talking about, some mechanic that would have been fun to avoid. But look at that. I should have died there. I'm at 82%. I took 0 damage from that. So everyone's experiences are kind of all over the place with it now. It's in PTU, kind of expected, but our feedback is still our feedback. Would love to see it be a bit more dangerous, I'd say, especially if you can respawn.
Just before I forget, I'll let you continue in a second, Frosty, but just before I forget, because I just thought about it then, I really, really now want the lunge to do a grab and actually grab a player and like yeet them into the air or something.
And then throw them away.
Please.
That'd be amazing. So many cinema emotes in my chat, though, during this. It was fun.
The only real gripe I have with all this is the medical beds at the facility is so stupid.
Yeah.
Especially being able to respawn from there as well. So, they should only have the beds at the transport hub where you can respawn, and the consequence it would be having to go through that journey again. But obviously they've had, like you said, Croncy, they had it before where you could disable it and only have it to restore health and all that. So yeah, they need to change that.
Yeah, you could just make it the old school tier 3 beds, and that'd probably be fine.
Oh, yeah.
You could even soup it up a little bit if you want to make it like a little bit more lore accurate. I believe right now radiation injuries are not tier 3. Someone could correct me, but like you could have some type of bonus to that.
Yeah, that's all I've got to say really. From what I've saw is just getting the server performance under control.
Yeah, for real. I mean, that's like the main thing right now, because I feel like all the content of the patch is in now at this point, and now it's just fix it, fix it quickly, and then that's about it. But, all right, Frosty.
See ya.
Catch you later.
Appreciate it, mate. Catch up.
All right, catch you later. All right, our next caller is actually somebody who killed the worm with me, Zolox.
Lovely.
Yeah. So let's see if he's got them unmuted and stuff. I think so.
Yep. How you doing, Zolox?
What's up, Zolox?
Yeah, it was super fun.
Hold on, I have you down really low from the fight yesterday, so.
Yeah.
Now you're
I
back
was
to
pretty
normal.
talkative.
No, it was from all my audio was screwed up, so I had to turn people individually down. I was thinking, but it was my Discord audio was way too high.
Yeah, it was super fun. I mean, like it was definitely like a 1 in 1,000 experience on the super low pop server. I really hope it's anywhere near that when it hits live, but I guess time will tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what do you think in general about the whole? I guess the process. I'm gonna call it an event. It's not an event, but it's just so much easier to call it an event. How do you feel about
Sandbox activity?
Yeah.
I like the process. I definitely think that there's definitely room with improvement. With we could say that for most of the things that CIG does.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I think the beds definitely should stay there, just because they're there because it's a radiated facility. There's radiation involved. You're gonna have to have.
Yeah, there's
them
certainly
there.
more reasons for it to be there.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's practical reasons too. I mean, you need to get rid of the radiation. There's a lot of AI. Like I have died so many times trying to get the key cards from the facility, just because there's that massive open spot where they could snipe you from.
Yeah. At some point, we have to assume ASD are also doing crazy amounts of cloning. There are far too many enemies at these locations.
They have a militia there.
For real.
I swear.
And that's the one thing that I would say, like, if we look back at Hathor, something that they were pretty good about, whereas this one, I think that they're not succeeding too much, is the first step to get that creature key is it's a really long cooldown timer. It feels like, in order for that key to like become available to get again, in comparison to Hathor, which was kind of like, I could just chill at Hathor and just farm the aligning keys, and I could do it on my own time. Then I could farm these keys for a little while, and then when I'm ready to go, I can go do that. And it doesn't feel the same way with this, for whatever reason. So even though there's multiple locations and everything, felt like everyone that I went to was either done or contested, and it was just like, wow, I'm on a not that busy server on a PTU. Like, what's live gonna be like? So
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely think that the maintenance key should be at the other ASD facility. instead of the data center, just because I don't think it's very clear because what key is supposed to go with those garages, and I only found out through word of mouth.
Yeah,
there is actually a building. While we were doing our little excursion that I located, had another scan door in it. It required one of the people with the
engineering suit, right?
No, it was the
radiation suit,
laboratory coat thing,
lab coat,
the doctor suit. Sure.
Yeah. But I never got to go in it, so I have no idea what's in there.
Just to be clear, you said the maintenance key should be found not in the data centers, but there is a door that requires the maintenance key in the data centers.
Oh, there is. I know that all I know is that there's the ICT like garages where you get the batteries requires that same key card.
Oh, interesting.
Although
that's how you open the garage doors for the ICT.
Yeah, so multiple places for you to put the maintenance key, basically.
Yeah, when we did it, it was after we had killed the worm, and we put the key in, and it just ate the key, and the door never opened. So it was like, oh, great.
Yeah, in the data centers, there's a maintenance section that has a bunch of
and data centers Pyro 4, right?
Yeah, the Pyro 4 data centers. Yeah, it has a bunch of armor, a bunch of weapons, and I think it had a little bit of lore as well, like one of those like email lore ones.
Cool.
Yeah, but I do like the process. I definitely think that as of right now, during our when we did our testing, the suits are kind of useless aside from just getting in the room. You could just carry the egg and just heavy armor.
And that was not the case in previous PTUs and in Evo and stuff. They made a change that made it too easy, and nobody had to main the radiation suit. Nobody had to take the risk of wearing less than 40% damage reduction, and just didn't feel right.
And you don't get to store anything because they don't usually come with the backpack either.
Yep. Yeah, correct. So,
and you have to wear that specific backpack.
Yeah.
There's also that fun thing with the Valakar where you can take the gun out of their mouth and
I'm sure that won't make it alive.
That won't make it to live. It was still fun.
So is it the adult or is it the babies? It's the babies, right?
I think it's the babies, yes.
So the babies spit like green stuff, right? But when you kill them, there is a size 0 or size 1 ship weapon in their mouth because they haven't culled it out. And you can tractor beam it out and use it. Oh no, it's a P4AR, I think. You could tractor beam it out and use it, and it fires at an insane rate. The green goo.
It has 90,000 ammo.
That's dope as hell. No comments, no changes. Don't bug fix. That's amazing.
Essentially unlimited ammo as well, which is just wild.
I love that. That's so good.
Yeah. So goofy.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, my first when it went to wave 1, I just couldn't do anything. Desync was so horrible. I really hope it doesn't. It's not like that in live.
Every patch until Friday was impossible to play for me.
Pretty much. Also, I noticed that I don't know if Croncy, if you experience this, but it feels like the adult Valakar are easier to kill than the juveniles at Hathor.
You might be right.
But it's so hectic.
They felt. I don't know if they felt easier to kill, but they felt like maybe the same. Which this might also go towards the case of what we said in the last call, that the irradiated ones might just have less HP in general, including the Apex.
So weird considering when you think of radiated mutant things, they're usually super strong.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think I think everyone goes to Fallout and it's everything with radiation is super powerful and whatnot. There is a lot of IPs where the irradiated things have a lot less health in one way or the other, but they're just more dangerous because just being around them hurts you, right? And they may just be going that route.
I also enjoyed the voice lines. I come from Elite Dangerous, where there's a lot of lore stuff, and I know in Star Citizen it's kind of useless to really follow the story because there's nothing you gain with it. But I mean, I feel like if they continue in that direction and they because the voice lines are way better than just sprawling data pads out on the ground and hoping players find them. They really did us dirty during the whole Frontier Fighters thing, and nobody really knew what was going on until we watched the ISC and they told us exactly what nobody knew.
Yeah. There was an Answer the Call in like March this year that Mike and I did, where we talked about all of the things that they were like, we're going to start focusing on story. And we talked about all the things we wanted them to do to actually make it immersive and enjoyable. And at this point, they've pretty much done everything on that list with this new event. So
I really hope they go.
Yeah.
They really listened to the community on this one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the voice lines. It was way better than just reading text.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love to maybe see, I don't know, I'm sure it's possible, like some sort of video playback would be like the last thing that I would want to see.
True.
Not as in not the last thing I would want to see. I mean, as in like from that list, it might be like the only thing that has not materialized.
They did it with the Hunt the Polaris and the comms calls. So I mean, I guess
they did. I mean more like like someone just said in chat, like old camera footage. Like imagine during this activity,
like old recorded
if there was
tapes.
a video of an irradiated
security room
Copion being experimented on or whatever, right?
Yeah, you go into the security room with all the videos, and you go to a button, and you're like, click this one because there's like a highlight on it. Yeah,
that would be maybe like one extra thing that I would love to see.
Yeah, another thing I noticed in the infirmary, I don't know, have they done this before where they add suits to a mannequin and you take it off of the mannequin instead of just grabbing it from a store? Like
only Invictus and IAE, and you couldn't grab it off. You would just
you bought them, right?
Right. I guess it was the same as the store.
So I was wondering, I mean, I'm probably going to fly away with the amount of hopium I'm ingesting here, but maybe suit lockers at some point.
Hey, I can imagine that feature, like that thing is at least half of the way, right? I couldn't put anything back on it, but I could take stuff off. You would imagine it'd be the same.
And then all you have to do is make it a hanger flare.
I don't think
just somehow manage to do it in a ship. I mean, that's what everybody wants.
Yeah, for real, it would be super helpful.
Yeah, the last thing I have written down here anyway is the flight blades off the store is definitely a good move. I feel like it's definitely just a reaction to the outcry of the community.
We don't know yet, though. A lot of people, everything except for the Tiger, the random ass Vanguard skin pack. Those are the only things from the event that are still on the store right now. What people
That's
don't
what I was going to
know,
ask. Were they removed before the new ships were removed?
The new ships.
I think everything removed at the same time.
There?
I think the Invictus ships are still for sale.
Let me look. Yes, most Invictus ships are still for sale.
Because that would be an important difference, right? Like if it is like,
I'll look it up. Because we have the bot on Discord and it shows the store changes, right? So
they took the bombs off, but I haven't heard anybody say that those are in game yet. So the bomb racks, not the bombs.
Good point. Sure. Because everyone's pointing at the flight blades, but the literal changes to the ships were way worse and way more impactful. Yeah. So they deleted all the starter packages that had the blades with them, basically.
Okay.
But that's it.
Yeah, I mean that's basically all I have. I really enjoy it when it works and it's not super desyncy. So
yeah,
if they just fix the med beds, it'll be 100 times better.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see. You got to fix the desync too.
Yeah, I think the desync is much more important. I would willingly get camped at a med bed a billion times as long as the servers are working.
Yeah,
agreed.
Less desync.
If my gun pulls out and doesn't disappear seconds later while I'm being shot at by someone across the room. Yeah.
Was it not you that I killed trying to get up?
You shot me in the face with the med gun.
I pull my med gun out and I click and it shoots him in the face and sends him back to checkmate.
Yeah, but hey, first boss battle.
Hey, that's a full clean bill of health.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
healing.
Yeah, I lost all my tier 3s. I was healed.
Yeah, and
but
full
first-
radiation coverage was gone because he
Yeah.
had to fly 6 hours back to the location.
Well, I mean, I had a new body. I mean, as per
exactly.
lore, anyway.
True.
But yeah, I mean, first boss battle. I mean, Mike conveniently said that the first boss battle was the Idris, but I don't know. I saw that Valakar KO a Polaris when it came out of the ground. So
True.
True.
That was epic. But all right, Zolox, we'll let you go, dude.
Yeah, you guys have a good one.
All right, man. Catch you soon.
Have a good one.
Bye now. All right. Amr Charasu is next.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Amr Charasu. How you doing?
Currently muted. There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
Let me make a little bit. Wait, I have to mute you guys.
Nope, no problem. Take your time. Well, not too long, but.
All right.
Hello. What do you got for us?
Oh wait, my TV is connected to my PC. Give me a second.
Oh no. If anybody understands audio problems, it's me and Croncy, I'm sure. Anybody who tries to make Twitch content, so
I muted my PC.
Yeah.
you're good.
So
how's it going? What do you want to talk about?
So there are a few things I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is the difficulty, but it's also connected to gameplay design of CIG. Because
Okay.
the thing is, CIG, when it comes to immersion, when it comes to world building, when it comes to feeling like you're actually there and experiencing something really, really cool, they are like at the top of the industry standard.
Yes.
And they really know how to nail that point. But when it comes to gameplay, what a game is mostly about, like not mostly about, but it's like a very important pillar of game design.
Yeah.
They are kinda not hitting the same quality mark than the rest of the game. And I'm scared that this will at some point make CIG just a cool tech demo with mediocre gameplay. Like not just right now, because right now it's still bugs and whatever, but once we get closer to 1.0, will that make Star Citizen fail? Not just Star Citizen, I'm also concerned about Squadron, but that's a different topic. For example, the sandworm. Now, like the big worm. I watched Mike and Bergs and how they like tackled it. And with Bergs, you can say, okay, maybe the server frame rate was not good enough, but with Mike's,
froze
it was
its
like
animations,
30 frames.
right?
Yeah,
Ooh,
but when I saw it on Mike, the mic had like 30 frames on the server. Then that was like most of it the intended way the worm is supposed to behave. And the whole mission is cool till the point like the worm comes out and you're like, wow, crazy and whatever, and then you just stand there and look at it and you're like, it's not doing anything.
Yeah. I mean, it is, though. It is, but it just wasn't damaging us enough. So I'm not a CIG apologist here. Everyone knows that. But hear me out here a little bit is they have to sit in their, because definitely not a CIG apologist on this, because they're probably not doing playtests enough to gather the right feedback on these things, because they just don't seem to do them, and we're their playtesters, right? So they kind of need to put it out there and then see what happens with us and then tune it from there, right? I don't know what levers they have to go up and down with this, but my guess is they have a couple, and they probably tune them down a little bit so we can see the end of it and we can get through it, and they can go, you know what? it's not doing enough damage here. There's not enough radiation. The guy who holds the egg definitely needs to be wearing a suit or something like that, right? Or everyone needs to be wearing a suit. There's tons of them around. This is their opportunity. Like, you're seeing it first and making an assumption like this is it. And you know what? You're probably right, to be honest, because that's how it's been.
I know what you mean.
But yeah,
I know what you mean. But there's my point is, yes, there are some levels you can adjust.
Yeah.
But sometimes the issue is in the fundament, like master modes, for example.
Sure, like everything in Star Citizen. Let's be honest here. The fundamentals are not their best.
You can adjust certain levels, but sometimes you have to just rework the whole thing, because you can just adjust it till it breaks. So sometimes you have to like completely rework the whole thing so it becomes actually good. And the problem is that CRG does that, but it takes, like, that's one of the reasons why it takes so long to develop this game, because we are the playtesters. But like, look at the worm. It's like the animations are done, the visuals are done, the whole missions is done. Like, for them to like change major behavior of the worm, that will like take forever again.
Yep.
And
I hate that's like, the way this is. I hate it. I would so much rather a gray worm that spits nothing, you know? And just go through the mechanics and be like, fun, not fun, fun, not fun, and then...
Because right now, like, a huge part of the Star Citizen community is not, like, I hate to sound like an elitist or something, but they're not like hardcore gamers that play like a lot of games. They're like old whales, space dads, whatever.
I mean,
and they are like probably
I'm one of them. I'm not a good gamer, right?
I mean, you played, like, I heard you like play Elden Ring, so at least like that's
first time I played it was like yesterday, but yeah, and I've played MMOs and stuff, but I'm not like good at video games, so like I think I fit in that demographic too, but I still. It's the egos or the elitism or the I want of the community sometimes.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say right now is that right now it might be okay with that level of difficulty, and like not like the thing with difficulty. I'm not just talking about how long it takes to kill it. Like that like if you take 4 minutes or 8 minutes, like that doesn't make a big difference of what the experience is. It's the engagement, it's the what do I have to prepare, what do I have to dodge, what do I have to learn from the engagement, do I die if I do this, do I like that's what's difficult for me.
Yeah, we agree.
Even that's like 1 minute. It's why we talked about complexity, is like it feels like there's not necessarily a ton of complexity with the encounter itself.
But
you can see where there's like, you can see where they have added on, right? You can see where like, I mentioned earlier, you know, that first phase or whatever was just shooting single shots at targets, and then eventually it was like, here's a 3-shot spray. Mike, you showed earlier on the pod the big grab, well, not actual grab, but the big lunge that it did was very cool. But yeah, it is very possible that just because it didn't do enough damage, that's why it felt like it lacked complexity, because we were just able to stand there and shoot
grabbed at nothing.
But it might be So to be fair, it might actually be okay. It might be it might be reasonable once we get into live. But then the other problem is that when it does get pushed into live, the servers will be performing worse. So then it will actually just stand there and not shoot at us.
Yeah. So it's like the best experience either myself or Croncy are going to have with this worm for the next like year to 2 years was today and yesterday.
Yeah.
Probably, yes.
Probably.
But even that was not, I don't think it's good enough for the major gaming community. Like once Squadron comes out, once the core gaming community, that is, I'm sorry I have to say this, but they're usually a little bit better than what Star Citizen players in general are.
I will fight that. The core gaming community is not better. The core gaming community is trash. Genuinely. Including myself. I am the core gaming community. The vast majority of people that play games are not as good at games as you think they are. Straight up. They are all bronze. Well, actually, Iron League of Legends players. They are losing every single game of Fortnite they've ever played.
Did you know that the average League of Legends player is usually like around like Emerald?
That is
Like,
100% not true. That is actually not true. I'm getting this set up right now. Average League
the
of
percentage
Legends ranked player.
percentage where the majority
Silver and
of
gold.
players
Most players fall within the silver and gold rank. So that is just actually wrong.
Look at the percentages. Where the percentages on how many are in what rank, and you will see that there
I am
are
looking at the percentages. The vast majority of players are in silver and gold.
the most of them, but there are also like a huge chunk higher above them and a huge chunk below them. But yeah, let's
that's what I'm saying. You are still putting like you're saying that players are better at games than you think they are. They're not. The average is much lower than you think. However, that does not disprove your point. I want to point out
the average Star Citizen gamer is even worse.
Okay, yeah, fair.
That's the point he's making.
But like the important thing for the majority of people that play video games is engagement. And if there is not an interesting point of complexity with these fights, it is not engaging. And regular players will still struggle to enjoy it. Yeah.
I just read. I don't normally read Twitch chat during this. The average Star Citizen player is in wood tier. It's literally true.
Based.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my first point. Do I still have time for the second one?
A little bit, I'd say.
Less time, but yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it short.
Because we'll do this caller and that one. I don't know if you guys heard the thunder, but huge storm coming through, so I'd rather cut before we lose power.
Yeah.
Sandstorm coming.
Yeah, literally.
So the second point is, I have a question and I want to see what your opinions on it. And that is, what do you guys think of, as much as I hate to separate the player base, what do you guys think of having like a hardcore chart in Star Citizen, where you just start with a starter step or without one, and you just have like there's no in-game botch.
Make the game first.
Out of the game. Yes, of course, after the bugs and stability and everything. That's a given. But I'm talking about for the future to fix the problem with the progression and having everything on the store. For example, like on this hardcore server, there is no tier 0 bullshit. There's no no bought ships on the store that you can just fly there.
Yes. Why not?
Everything like that happens in the game is like when you die, you die. When the ship explodes, it explodes.
Yeah, I am for that for sure. However, I'd want to point out a couple of like caveats. So World of Warcraft did this really well, right? They introduced their hardcore servers. World of Warcraft became like more popular than it had ever been. It was already like having a bit of an uptick at the time, but it did work. Everyone smashed it and really enjoyed it. And they've gone through like a couple of cycles of like big hardcore hype, right? The caveat to it is it's very possible that a lot of that success was nostalgia based rather than actual mechanical based. So that's something to keep in mind. However, I am more on the side of I think it is due to the mechanics and making it a bit more interesting that you can actually risk something. The last caveat that I would add, and so once again, I'm still for it, but the last caveat I would add is that this was also 20 years into the game having existed.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, there's likely to be some growing pains in that area.
My point is that there's still a possibility that the whales can have like their like PvE hand-holding screenshot simulator where they just fly around solo in their like Idrises and whatever. And then the player base that actually wants a game to play and progress in and like grind through, they can also have their cake.
Yeah, I think you could do that without swapping servers either. You could just have a system that is just pretty chill. But then what it breaks is like that idea of like the insurance thing, which is what makes me kind of fall in line with you a lot more. Is like, yeah, if we had those servers, they wouldn't have to do this bullshit insurance. But then
yes.
And then what would they do on those servers? Do you think that they would maybe charge a monthly fee where they don't charge a monthly fee for the other one or something like that? I don't know. I don't care. But I would only play on the hardcore server if that was the case. Like I would never, ever play on the other one.
Because I think it would be super emergent, and for the game that Star Citizen is trying to be, but it's not what it's becoming right now. It's kind of like moving in a different direction, which I'm very scared of.
I don't know it's moving that direction. I feel like it's always been in this direction.
It's kind of becoming more arcadey, more easy, more less risk, no loss, kind of. And that's like, I don't like that. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't like that. And it makes the game feel like a cool tech demo that's just casual.
Yeah.
And not like the MMO that you just immerse yourself in and then you grind your way up and become someone.
I'm going to be honest. I don't like the absolute chaos that Hathor was necessarily. I don't like the absolute chaos that this new event is. What is it? Stormbringer or something like that?
PvP. I'm not talking about...
I know.
This is not just a PvE versus PvE. Yeah.
I know, but always
these are good examples of like tier 0. These are good examples of like being able to do activities with no risk.
Yeah, and that's the thing is the way these events are designed is because you have no risk, you just go there and you just win, right? Like roll up in a Polaris, Hathor is no problem, and you just do your thing, and it's it, and it's just kind of weird. And the whole point of doing Wicklow and Hathor was to get a Polaris, like that was the main event of the thing, and everybody already had them that was doing it, and it was just weird. So yeah, I don't know. I'm with you though, just clearly.
Okay,
I'm with you 100% on that.
Okay.
I just think
we optionally play hardcore a lot of the time anyway, just in the regular service.
Because the current game is so boring. I mean, I just watched a video of a guy boarding Idris's, and the moment people knew that they were on a ship, they instantly just backspaced. Like,
it's like, what? The one from Greasy, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, dude, and like obviously those are clips, and that may not have been what happened every single time, but it happened enough to be like, dude, wow, they like it was like it was like ingrained in them, second nature. The second a guy was on their ship, the ship was going into self-destruct mode.
You do what's the least resistance.
Exactly, and that's the least resistance. All right, I'll just get out of this situation and start again. No big deal, right? And
don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, yeah.
exactly. But all right, amateur. Or go ahead.
Yeah. There's just one thing. The other thing is like right now, a lot of players are like role playing that.
Yeah.
Like for example, when I was fighting like the worm, and then you were like overheating, and you were like, I could just backspace and just spawn again.
Yeah, I could have just backspace, but I played along because that's what the devs would have wanted or whatever, right? That's the design of the location. But in reality, what would I have done? I would have spawn camped everybody that was trying to come to prevent PvP, and I would have backspaced anytime I died to get my body back, because I get everything back with tier 0. There's no consequences whatsoever. And then they talk all this shit about how they want consequences. The consequence is losing your character that you don't give a shit about. I don't get it. So that's me.
Yes. The moment there's actually something worth fighting over, where you have to min-max in Star Citizen, all those design flaws will show their ugly face.
Yeah, I mean, they're starting to already.
Like the moment you really have to min-max to win like a fleet battle where everybody is just in his Hornet and just one guy in an Idris that just keeps the Idris around, so when people die on their Hornets, they spawn back in and go again, like fly in another Hornet to go out instead of like having like actual like fleet battles. Like let's see how they will solve that. But yeah, these were my points.
Okay. Well, thank you for your call. I appreciate it. Getting Croncy very upset as well. That was fun. I enjoyed that part. I had to run away.
You'd never fight me on the fact that everyone's bad at video games. That's my one thing.
It's true. Everyone is. They just, who cares? There's the pros and then there's everyone else pretty much. It's like whatever.
Exactly. There's me and then there's everyone else who's better than me.
Exactly. Everyone's in first place. We're coming in second. All right, I'm exactly. Thank you so much, man.
Cheers, mate.
Talk to you.
No problem.
Bye now. All right, and our next caller, I'm not trying to say this name. This one's yours.
Masi Saris.
There you go.
You are muted.
Yeah, I had done. Sorry.
Oh, good.
How's it going, guys?
It's going. How about yourself?
Oh, pretty good. I just wanted to drop in and at least say hi. It's been a while since I was on. This is my second time on.
Cool. Welcome back.
I'm glad that I'm able to catch you guys live more often now.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Hell yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
So actually, the mention of backspacing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think way back, I'm pretty sure they said that that's not something that should be 1.0.
Yeah, no, it's
meant for like just because
right now it's like we don't have an unstuck button.
It's a debugging feature.
Yeah. There has to be, with the current medical system that they have though, there still has to be a way to backspace, if that makes sense.
Because no one wants to wait an hour and a half to die.
Exactly.
No. Agreed.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think I hope they really do take that into consideration when they redo the medical, because we need like a button on that screen that says, "Hey, force respawn. I don't want to wait."
Oh, well, hold up. Before we go into that, like they've discussed what they want to do. I don't know if Croncy, if you remember or not, but it's pretty clear that you haven't. You're not going to go down and have to wait for anybody anymore. You're going to go into a down state where you can revive yourself once, maybe once more, or something like that. Similar to, I think it's like Call of Duty or something, like their Battle Royale does that. They were talking about doing something like that. As far as we know,
that would work.
That's the next step in the medical gameplay, is you're going to be in this like in between alive and down state where you're able to pull out like a med pen if you have it and revive yourself.
I like that idea, especially if it gets rid of the whole like blurry HUD. You can't see anything unless you go F4.
You can't even read chat to discuss with people what to do.
I don't know who designed the current system, but they've never played a game.
It's Chris Roberts, clearly, because it has to be immersive and diegetic and in-world. And what are the other ones? Any other?
Immersive.
Yeah. There you go.
Right. I don't
know if you knew this, but when you go to the doctor actually gives you a rating out of 100 about how healthy you are.
In Star Citizen?
No, it's a joke about that we have 100%. No, it's a joke. We have 100% health in this game, which is stupid, instead of like some other health system. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? We get a rating?
People don't exist at 100% health. That's not how people work.
Okay. I could see that. Yeah.
I'm 200% right now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm irradiated.
So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that one out there. I love that you posted your fight, Salty. I've been trying to do the 4.2 patch. Man, I can never get off the tram. Like every time, even when I'm in a group, every time we go to the place, there's always somebody there. And even if they're friendly, they tend to betray us or something. And we end up getting killed. So I have yet to even make it off the tram.
Shoot first.
So actually getting to see it. Right, yeah. Shoot first, ask questions
then
later.
Tell them you're friendly. That's been my policy.
Yeah.
Down you and go, hey man, I'm just shooting to protect myself. I'm friendly. Do you wanna like game? Do you want to play or do you want to be friendly? Yes or no? Usually that'll that'll chill it all out, but who knows?
Right. Exactly. So anyway, it was good to see like the content though. Like you play through it and see, okay, so this is what's supposed to happen. This is like what's there. Because I still haven't even been able to do Hathor. Because of the same reasons. Like it's always so
I didn't get
intense.
lucky with Hathor like I did with this one. So like I never made a video of that because I never had a good experience with it. My best experiences were playing the event in like the huge group where like I had my little section of what I did, but I didn't do it from start to finish with that group. We had people gathering the keys. We had people firing the laser. I was mining. And then
and it's like you said, it still hasn't always worked. Maybe it gets stuck somewhere, or you have to try and switch servers because it's stupid.
With CZs. I've never had a straight through run of CZ's work.
Oh, see, I have. I got in the first week those launched, and it was flawless. I loved it. I had an amazing time. I was like you were, where I was on a 30 FPS server.
Yep, nobody was
and
there.
Just enjoyed it. Got through. I was probably one of the first to get the executive hangar. And I got the Corsair, which I already had, so I was like, what? I wish there was something different there.
Yeah, that's the
like
one
you
I
said,
want.
the ability to reroll, if you have it, or anything like, or even donate it to somebody else, like trade it, sell it.
Well, you can donate that one. You can't donate the Wicklow one, which sucks.
Oh yeah, because you could like. Once it comes up, you can be like, I have this. You want to get it,
you
man?
claim it. Yeah,
Which I did several times with a friend of mine. We went through a lot of times, and he ended up getting everything except the F8. We never did see the F8 come through there.
The one that I got, I think. What did I get?
Okay.
No, I got the Cutlass. I got the Cutlass in the PTU. I never did it on live, though.
See, I always wanted the Sulin. I could never get the Sulin because I just wanted the parts off it. I wanted the military parts. So I could put it on my Mark II.
Nice.
I think just quickly in regards to like Hathor not really working, Hathor does have more parts that feel like they can break. Like keys are notorious for breaking since they introduced them.
Yeah.
Right.
Hathor has 3 keys to open the 3 places to get 3 keys to put them in the in the satellite.
Yep.
Then you need to take the batteries and put them up the top. Also multiply what I just said by 3 for each satellite. So then you need to bring all the 3 batteries. Then you need I think it's 1 more key while you're up there.
Yep.
To also work. Then you need the button to work. If you
Can
compare that
another
to
key
the
down
Valakar,
and then the button.
Yeah, exactly. So if you compare that to this Valakar thing, you need the scanning seems to be working all the time from what I've been experiencing so far in all the PTUs. So that may not be an issue. But then it's like 1 code to grab a key, use that key to get another key, insert key, get egg. Like it's there's far less things that can break in that instance.
Right, and I think it's part of the whole like they've learned.
Yeah, but they still put
I think they
doors.
chose
They
things.
still chose keys.
Yeah, and doors.
True, but I think they chose more things that were consistently working, like the whole enter a code, open the safe. That seems like it consistently worked. The whole, like you said, the scanning, the new tech, which I hope they implement a lot more places. The scanning seems to be working like consistently.
You should have to, if you are going to do Constantine Hurston's missions, the door should scan you and you have to be wearing subscriber gear.
Oh, that would be funny. I could see it.
Anyway.
Hurston armor. No, you got to go do a bunker mission and steal their armor. No. Stuff like that. Anything. Get Crusader armor to do some of the Crusader missions. That would be cool.
I mean, it would be fantastic to sneak into Security Post Korea with the right armor. Those, that has to be a thing immediately there. If you are wearing the correct armor, you can go there and just hack your shit down without any problems.
Right, and what would be cool is the ability to hack somebody other, like a team member, if they're in your party, hack their crime stat.
Now you're going crazy. Come on.
Oh, come
I
on.
I agree, but you know they can't do it, so why even think about it?
I gotta throw some copium in there. Come on.
True, of course. It wouldn't be an
Oh, man.
ATC without some copium.
What I was gonna say is, have you guys tried the contested zones in this patch 4.2?
No.
So I don't know if it was this patch or when it changed. I tried it in this patch because I was just at checkpoint and was like, I'm gonna run in there. The fuse doors are different. Now I don't actually have to get the fuses out. Like when you go up to it and they're just you have a fuse on you, you can just hit the button and it puts it in.
Oh,
like you don't have
been
to
a while
have it in
now.
your
No,
hand.
that's been since 4.1.
Yeah.
Okay, well that shows how long it's been since
anything you take from your
Yeah.
anything that you like place in, like a key, fuse. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Just all different types of keys, like big keys, small keys, whatever. You can go directly from your backpack, but it doesn't always work. So
was that because of the whole tier 1 thing? Or tier 0?
I don't think so. I think it was just
one dev wanted to do something cool and do some quality of life stuff, and that was one of them.
Well, I thought it was good because it seemed like the fuse doors actually seemed to be a lot more consistently working.
Yeah, I mean there was a couple of notes in 4.2, like the patches about the fuse doors at CZ's, so I think they were kind of taking a peek at them.
Cool. Makes sense. You know that people are going to be in Pyro a lot this new patch. You want to make sure that CZ's are getting some love.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you kind of got to at least get some stuff together to do the new content. You can't just go in. Even with the NPCs, they're pretty cracked.
Where are you guys spawning in 4.2 when it goes live?
Checkmate, maybe.
Probably still like Babbage, but I'm probably living in Pyro for most of the patch.
Yeah. I still think I'm spawning in Stanton.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a possibility because of that way I can just load up my ships and go to Pyro. And
I prefer Pyro though.
Yeah.
I'm going Pyro. I love Pyro.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing this content. This is probably the most fun content they've added in a long time.
Yeah.
Even though I can't get past the cliff there.
For now.
I've still had more fun trying to get there.
Yeah.
Than I have in a while.
My favorite thing is these guys went, all right, so here's the deal. We recognize that there's a ton of desync and there's problems. So we're sticking at wave 2. Next day, patch is open to everybody. And you're just like, what the
Yeah, all right.
We fixed nothing, but hey, here you go. Have fun.
Like, let's just see what happens if we throw more fuel on the fire. Let's just try that first.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's the first patch that I got the worm to work, so it couldn't be that bad. But yeah.
I mean, to be honest, this last patch has been the most stable I've been on.
This is the one I've had the most server crashes on, but it's the only one that I had anything work on. So I'll take it.
Right, working over crashing. I would take that too.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say hi, and it's always good to talk to you guys.
Yeah, appreciate
it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. And for you Monday,
too.
right, Croncy?
Yep, it is 1:53 a.m. on Monday.
There you go.
All
right. Talk to you soon.
Catch you.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye now. He has an infectious laugh. It's very, very cool.
True.
It's very infectious. Do you want to go to Agent Kozak and end it there, but give him like a couple minutes?
Yeah, a couple minutes, and then we'll finish up.
All right. Agent, we'll let you in, but you only get a couple minutes because we got to get going. I actually have to eat at hockey game and stuff, or I'm gonna get sick. So as well.
But yeah, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up?
I think I'm the only person, or I might be a minority here. I'm only gonna bitch about this once. Sorry. The med gun change. Why did they do that? I only ever carried it. Yeah, that drives me insane. I've only ever carried the medical gun where they only permanently put the multi-tool now, and I carried a multi-tool in my backpack. So whenever I needed it, I'd just take it out and use it because I used the medical tool more than I used the multi-tool. And now I don't even have the option to run it anymore. And I can't even put on where the knife used to go, because I always had a knife. And that's just my own personal thing. I was talking to some friends. I might be a minority here. They're like, it's way easier. And I'm like, I don't. Why would they do that?
I do think it's easier, but I also think that it's a good like pre-planning balancing action of like you only get to choose. You know, you either get that extra firepower from that extra pistol, or you get the med gun. You can't have both. Right.
For me,
I think that's really cool.
For me, it's because you want to carry a secondary weapon as a backup anyway. You always want to, even if you're just slinging lead down range, it doesn't matter. You just need something, because for a while, remember how many sorry, I gotta stop swearing. There's so many weapon malfunctions when the primary reloads constantly going through all the time. But for the make up for that, you can just pull out a pistol and dump real quick, and then deal with it, get away, and deal with your malfunctions or whatever, and move on. And now you're just stuck. So now I'm just stuck reloading magazines, trying to take my knife out, put the gun up.
Well,
take the magazine.
Once again, you're not stuck doing that, because you can you now just have a choice of med pens and pistol, or med gun, no pistol.
But
med pens and pistol tend
the
to do
med
pretty
gun
well.
is so powerful you don't have a choice. Is basically what the
I
argument is.
disagree. I think med pens and pistol is a completely reasonable, fine choice in the game right now. Most of the time, I prefer using med pen because I can just hit a button.
Right, and that's my because like whenever I train my guys, it was supposed to be like you had the med pen there, like you can just fix your wounds, your tier 3 injuries, suppress them, move on, and the consumables were there to be quick. It's like, oh, I can't get this thing out right now. I'll throw it in, move to cover, do what I need to do. My buddy can cover me, and of course, whatever the situation is.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the multi-tool healing attachment? Why not use that?
To be honest with you, I have not tried it yet. I have something I have.
Fair enough.
Try it and come back.
It could be better. It could be better.
It is.
All right. Well, then
that's your choice.
I'll give it a shot.
And then come back and complain if you still don't like it, okay?
All right, fair enough. I probably should have learned this.
I will agree with you. One aspect of the change, though, that still ticks me off today, and I had like my little crash out moment during the game today, which is I was okay with them changing them to be pistols, but I am so mad that in your inventory they are considered weapons.
Yeah,
could still be considered utility. I am okay.
Yeah.
Like every single time I go to my inventory and I'm like, oh, I've got to equip some meds. Wait, why do I only have multi-tools in here? What the hell's going on?
Yep. I found them by accident, so I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
Next thing, really quick. They were talking about other like reasons for PvE and PvP players, whatever. I thought a solution that might be really dumb and simple, or someone probably already said it, but just have more areas for people to actually have a reason to go fight in. What's Chawa's Beach, and what was the other one that people always go to? Just to fight each other. If there's more of an incentive for these people to go there, whether it's just a module that could randomly spawn in an old factory, a weapon that has a specific attachment that like, hey, we need this for the org, whatever, and they have to farm them and they have to like 3D print them or something. I know I'm going way copium here, but I'm just saying that if they spread out the areas in which people would go to and have a real reason, not like kind of like CZs where you're getting the modules. And I understand that again, things need to work, obviously, but actual rewards for people to do these things, because then the PvE people can just do their thing. And I understand that could equate to like pirates coming up and doing that, but that's like part of the loop, and I might just suppress a little bit of the straight murder hoboing people like to call it, versus like killing somebody with purpose versus just killing them because I'm having a bad day.
Is that not what they're doing now? So now, well, with 4.2 release, if you want to, get actual rewards, because this game doesn't have good progression. If you want to get actual rewards, you have the option of, after 4.2, go to CZs, go and do Hathor, go and do Valakar. At the moment, I think that's it. I can't think of any others that like have those bonuses yet. So they have been adding those things, right? That's what this is, I feel like. It's not enough.
Yeah, I think it's maybe probably my biggest thing here. Because you made a point too that said that like it should be easier versus having to go get a card and stuff. Go to a card terminal or something. Make it a little bit, keep it simple, stupid. So the systems are more reliable, like, and you're still rewarding for doing these things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's all my complaints.
Sounds good.
So thank you guys.
Yeah. Gave you your soapbox, agent. All right. All right.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, man. We'll catch you later.
No worries, mate.
Try that med gun on the multi.
I am. I'll get back to you.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right, peace out.
Bye. All right. That was our show.
Indeed it was.
Still made it 2 hours. Never. I thought this was 100% an hour and 15-minute show.
Well, you should have seen the fact that Space Monkey Business was in the call waiting.
Like
that there was no shot we were gone.
He was long call.
He was 18 minutes.
But we were talking the whole time.
That's
to be
true.
fair. He wasn't. He wasn't. Yeah. But that's it. We did the worm. It was great. We had a great time. Will that be the best time we have with this event or any events? Did we just get lucky? I hope not. I hope
exactly.
Not.
I really want to try to play this again tomorrow.
This is a farm that you should be doing, right? This is a farm. So that's where we'll leave it. But thank you very much for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. And don't forget.
To subscribe to watch on this guy.
I'm so bad at this.
Subscribe on YouTube if you enjoy the podcast. This may also be the first time you are listening through audio. Don't quote me on it. We're gonna maybe work on it this week. It may go up in a couple of days. So if you're listening through audio, thank you for listening through audio. We do this live on Twitch, both on Mike and my own channel, as well as here on YouTube. So make sure you like that one. And don't forget, I'm going to be a dad in October.
Congratulations. I might have been the only one who knew for a while, so congrats, Croncy.
You didn't. I posted it.
Oh, I don't look on Twitter, so I didn't know. But congratulations. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.